Matthew is leaving for college in less than a year. As his mother, and knowing his departure is imminent, I have the sense I am standing on the edge of something spectacular, like the Grand Canyon. There is this immeasurable beauty in every direction, and yet there is also a sense of my own vulnerability pushing like the wind at my back, hissing in my ear. This thing we call parenting, this thing we call motherhood, feels an awful lot like a marathon for which I was not told how to prepare. Now I am in the final stretch, and I have the awful realization that there's no going back, no recapturing the years that somehow seeped through my fingers like beach sand. I can only pray that somehow Matthew will pack his bags and wave goodbye to a mother whom he knows without doubt loves him. One morning during last spring break, Matthew and I set out for another of our long treks in the country. Our usual walk is up to Summit Lake, which by the time we get home is about 13 miles, half of which is straight uphill. We walk at a fast clip. The first leg is on dirt roads, completely wooded, pastures filled with sheep, with black and white cows and long-eared donkeys just beyond the tree line. There is never a lack of conversation. These walks draw our talk, like the sap being drawn from the maples that line the road. There's no punctuation of chattering electronics or the staccato ring of the phone, just the steady beat of our feet, bringing us closer to the lake, which sits like a teacup in the crux of the hill. On this particular spring walk, I welcomed the warming air and the fading remnants of winter that had blighted the countryside. The birds were clustered in the treetops, whole flocks, singing their melody, breaking winter's silence. We crested the hill, ready to begin our descent to the lake. As we walked, we scanned the road, the brush on the side of the road, the sky, searching for the wildlife that awes us. "Over there, look," is one of our frequent remarks, with an outstretched hand pointing at a deer or a tapping woodpecker. This time I spotted the creature, and it lay directly in Matt's path. "Look out," I said, and gave him a shove to the side. On the edge of the road was a tiny painted turtle, no bigger than a quarter. Matthew scooped it up and held it in the palm of his hand. "That was close," he said. "It's a hatchling." The rest of the walk, Matthew held the turtle in his hand, commenting on its cuteness, while we tried to think of a fitting name. Summit was the name we came to, in honor of the lake we adore. That afternoon, as we stood in the kitchen, our sneakers off, our feet sore from exertion, I told Matthew, "These walks will be one of the best memories I have of our time spent together."